Chazak Baruch, Boker Tov, everyone. Good morning. Chazak Baruch for making the minyan. And Dr. Shemes, I want to wish you a safe and healthy trip to Israel, B'ezrat Hashem. So we're going to need even more strength in the minyan. We'll have to tell other people, B'ezrat Hashem. So Rabbi Shalom says there's a few cases talking about infertility, and therefore I wanted to just bring out some of these points. If God forbid, if a couple they want to start a family and it's going difficult for them, they would go to infertility clinic. So first off is that there's great organizations. Baruch Hashem, we live in a big Jewish community that has a great organization called Small Wonders that helps families, Jewish families. All they want is to bring more Jewish kids. They help financially. They help medically, getting the best doctors. They help with a great support system, and they help with halacha. That's what we're going to be mentioning this morning. Obviously, all the other points are so great as well. Baruch Hashem involved in many stories. Financially, I once gave a $5,000 check to a couple, back pay from Small Wonders for what they paid out. Medically, support system. Baruch Hashem, there have been successes. When it comes to halacha, it's also very, very important. And here's just some of the few concerns, the halacha, that could be if you just go into a regular infertility clinic and not go through a Jewish organization. Number one, how to extract the sperm is that there's ways that it can be done allowed and ways that can be done in a not allowed way. Number two is, especially with IVF, where they're taking the sperm and they're planting it into the egg on a plate in a lab. So who's the mashgiach, so to speak, who's watching over the sperm that's indeed the sperm of the husband? Meaning, I'm sure they take practices that they don't mix up sperms, but to make sure that pikuach is halacha. That watching over is halacha. Can a person use a surrogate mother or not? Can you be a surrogate? Can you use donor sperm or not? Can you use a donor egg or not? When it comes to donor sperm, generally, so all these cases, you got to be connected to your rabbi, and you got to be connected to a Jewish organization, a religious organization that can help with all these. But in general, with regards to donor sperm, it's generally better to use a non-Jewish sperm than Jewish sperm. And that's because if the egg is, let's say, the mother's, so the mother is Jewish, and the kid's going to be Jewish anyways. The thing is, if it's, let's say, a donor sperm that's a Jew, then the child could be considered a father from that sperm and that person, and therefore this child, when he wants to get married, might fall in love with his brother or his sister. We don't know if that's a Jewish donor. Maybe this other kid is from that same father Jewish donor, and therefore they're siblings. They can't marry each other. When it's a goy, that's it. It's like nothing in a certain way. It's a blank sheet of paper, and especially if the egg and the mother is Jewish, then fine. But now, what happens on the other side? If it's a donor egg of the woman, if that is, it's the same issue if it's a Jewish donor egg, but it gets more complicated if it's a non-Jewish donor egg. Then there has to be the she'elot: is the mother carrying the mother, or is the egg the mother? And there needs to be, in that case, a gerut, a conversion, l'chumra, because of this whole thing, because the egg is a non-Jewish egg. Because again, if it's a Jewish egg, then you get into the other problems. So there's a lot of things going on that one should be aware of halachically when it comes to infertility. The last point is he also has she'elot regarding adoption. Recently, someone asked me a question that his father left him when he was very, very young, and his father was Jewish, but left him when he was very young, and then his stepfather stepped into the picture. So he wants to know, when he gets called up to the Torah, should he get called up with his father, who left him when he was 2 years old, has zero connection with him, or stepfather? So when looking into it, going up to the Torah is not such an issue, because you sometimes even have customs just calling the name with the last name, whatever. But the main thing is for the ketubah. When looking into it, it's even better to go with the grandfather, the mother's father's name. Some people have situations that they use the mother's name. Like there's situations that, let's say, the father is a goy. So some people, they go up with using their mother's name, but it could be better to even use the mother's father's name. But with regards to adopting, his teshuvot regarding adopting, it's a very, very big mitzvah, especially if the child you're adopting is Jewish. But definitely to be aware that if the child is not Jewish, and even though the parents are Jewish, and you're adopting the baby from day one, there has to be a conversion done, and the conversion has to be, of course, an Orthodox conversion. Unfortunately, I've seen, it could be when the child is a child, even before bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, but that's provided that the parents and the bet din has to oversee this. The parents are going to provide this child with a proper Orthodox house, Orthodox Jewish education, etc. That's contingent on the gerut. And unfortunately, I've been involved in situations where there was an adoption of a non-Jewish kid, and they weren't religious, and then the kid fell in love with, thought they were Jewish, fell in love with a Jew, came time to get married, they're not Jewish. What do you mean? I grew up with my parents, this, they go through a conversion, did they go through it, they didn't go through it, heartache later, right? So if you're doing adoption, it's a great mitzvah, this and that, either adopt a Jewish kid already, or if you're adopting a non-Jewish kid, then make sure that you convert, and you convert in the proper way. A little bit heavy topic today, but it's very, very important topics. Okay, that's that for today. Mincha at 4:35, and Gemara shiur tonight at 8:30. Have a good day, everyone.